Hi students, it's Miss Jen. I decided to record a little bit of a video for demo just so I don't have to steal one of you out of class to demo on you. So today I'm going to be doing a man manicure, which to you means that we don't do the polishes necessarily, and also that it might take a little bit longer time because typically men's nails are a little bit rougher. So I'm working on my lovely model over here, Robert.
Hi.
And we're going to start off today by, we're going to assume that we had already washed our hands. And now I'm going to ask him to remove any of his jewelry, and I'm also going to remove my jewelry. And we'll just put it somewhere that I won't get it wet with anything.
Alright.
So first what I would do is I would remove any polish that he had on his nails, and I would do my client consultation. So he's a man, so I know that he doesn't have any polish on. You would probably still have to go through the motions just for state board purposes, but for today I'm just gonna not do the removing of the polish to save time. So now I'm gonna consult with him and I'm gonna look at his hands and see if we have any kind of contraindications. So here I see that he has minor cuts on him, but none of them are open, so I can still work on his nails. And if he did have anything that looked a little bit shaky to me, I might ask him if it hurts at all, and if there was anything that was contraindicative, then I would send him to a physician, because remember, we cannot diagnose. So I see that his nails are okay, so now I'm going to talk to him about his nails. Typically, I could ask him what his maintenance looks like, what polish he was wearing if he was going to get polish. He's obviously not. But this would also be the time when I talk to him about the shape of his nails. So what shape would you like me to do on your nails today?
I would like them rounded off.
Okay. He said that because I told him to say that, because you guys all know that the shape that men get the most is rounded. So today we're going to round them off. So the step that I'm going to do first is I'm going to shape the nails, and we always start on the left hand, the client's left, which will seem like your right. That is if you are a right-handed person. So if you're left-handed, you'll start on his right, and I am right-handed, so I'll start on his left. So I always start on the pinky, and I'm going to just come in here. He doesn't have a whole lot of nail to work with, but I'm just going to shape his nail, and the angle that I'm using, which you should also know from your notes, is that I'm using a 45-degree angle. You see that I'm holding his finger in my hand. I have complete control of his finger, and I'm going to just tell him to relax his hand because he looks pretty tense right now. So I'm just going to come in here and shape it up, round off those edges. He has nothing really to work with because he has onychophagy, which means that he bites his nails.
Yep.
But we're not going to hate too much. So yeah, again, I don't really have a whole lot to do here. He does have a little bit of jagged edges though, just because he does bite his nails. Notice that I am shaping the nails from the side to the middle. I'm not going back and forth, and I'm not just choosing one way. I always go from the side to the middle on both sides. And also notice that I worked from the pinky to the thumb on his left hand. And once I get to his right hand, I will also work from the pinky to the thumb, filing on my 45-degree angle. After I'm done shaping, you're going to put your left hand into the finger bowl. What I have in the finger bowl is warm water with soap in it. And after that, I'm going to actually do the shaping of his right hand. So I'm going to take his hand over his other hand and shape on this hand. Keep in mind your grip on your client when you're doing this. If you have nails yourself, it's very easy for you to accidentally put your nail on their skin and possibly hurt their fingers. So try to keep your grip kind of loose. Just relax right now. Your finger, not your nail.
My finger.
I'm going to take the left hand out of the bowl, and I'm just going to take my brush and go right over the bowl, take a little bit of water on it, and pull this straight down from his nail to kind of clean off that nail, get any dirt off, and also get the bubbles off. Does that hurt?
No.
Okay. Is that dirt in there? Or is that like a...
You know what? It's something.
Okay.
That's for sure.
I'm only doing this because he has something nasty on his finger. I would just be going straight down.
Yeah, nasty.
It's true. And then you can put that one in the bowl. And now I'm working with this hand. I'm going to start applying my cuticle remover, which I have already put into my palette before I did my setup. And I'm going to take my orange wood stick and my cotton pledge it. And remember how he said that you can use an orange wood stick to apply product if you use your pledge it with it. So you're just going to take it and wrap it around and do a little roll with your hand. And now you've made a little applicator that you can dispose of. So I'm going to take a little bit of this cuticle remover and apply, of course, starting at the pinky. Just applying it on the nail and trying not to get it around the surrounding skin. Like we talked about, the pH of the cuticle remover is around 13 out of a 14 pH. So we really don't want to get this on the skin because it can make it really dry and also cause hangnails. So we're just trying to get this on the cuticle. I'm going to take this, throw it in my garbage. And I'm going to start pushing back the cuticle and cleaning under the free edge. So what I do is I take my metal pusher. In this case, since he has cuticles that are a little bit tougher to deal with, there's no way I would want to use my wooden stick. I need to use my metal pusher. So I'm going to start on his pinky, and I'm going to try to remove his cuticle tissue and push back his eponychium. Remember, the cuticle tissue is dead and the eponychium is alive. So the eponychium is going to be a little bit tender and the cuticle is just going to come right off. If it doesn't come right off, you can do a little bit more scraping. And if you have any issue with it getting stuck at the bottom there, like I am right now, I can take my nippers. Remember, we talked about how we just squeeze them and release them. We don't do any kind of pulling. So we're going to take this, and I see the tissue. I get it in between the nippers. I squeeze it, I let go, and it came with the nippers. If it did not come with the nippers, that means that it was not completely removed, and there's no reason you should be pulling at it. So all you would need to do is take it on it again, squeeze it, remove, squeeze it, remove, until you've gotten that tissue off. So again, men manicures take a little bit longer of time to get this cuticle off. He has some resistant cuticle tissue because he hasn't gotten a manicure in a little while, and he does work with his hands. So we're going to pretend we did all these because we'll do it later when we're not filming, because I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, because that would probably be how long this would take. So let's just pretend I'm getting all this cuticle off. Okay. Okay, so what I like to do at this point is take this hand out of the water and do my little brushing from moving downward on the nail. Okay, and then I put this down and I dry off his hand nicely. And what I like to do is, I know that he still has cuticle remover on his nails, so I like to take his left hand over his right hand and just kind of take the brush, dip it in the water, and get that cuticle remover off. Just so I know there's no way that his skin is burning right now from the cuticle remover. And then I'll just have him put his nails down and we can just kind of dry that off a little bit. He's nice enough to do it himself. Not all clients are nice enough to do it themselves. So now I would be applying my cuticle remover to this hand using another cotton pledget and my orange wood stick, which by the way is a disposable implement. It is not a multi-use implement. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to pretend to do this right now, but you get the idea. I'll do this on him later. La la la. Dispose of this. Take my metal pusher. Push away. Push away. Try to get it from the sides and from the back there. Okay. So then if he had cuticle remover on that one, I would also take the brush, get some water, and get off that cuticle remover. So next after that, we're done with the cuticle, we're done with the shaping of the nail. So now it would be time to buff the nail and then to put the polish on. So in the men's case, we are just going to be buffing. They don't need the polish necessarily, unless they specifically ask for it. So I'm going to take my buffer block, and remember there's a lot of different grits on this buffer block. So this is a coarser grit than this is, which means that the grit is lower. So the grit on this side is lower than the grit on this side. So I would probably use this side first and then follow up with this one. This would get out any kind of little scratches I have on the nail, and then this one would make it all shiny, like a buffer block is supposed to do. So again, I'm going to start with my left hand on my pinky, and all I'm going to do is just rub over this nail, try to get it nice and shiny. A lot of times the X motion is the best way that you can buff. So I go this way and then this way and then this way, and I can go nice and fast with that. But remember, if you're using any kind of buffer that has a little bit of a coarser grit, you're going to want to only do a few motions before you kind of give it a little break. We don't want it to heat up too much. We just want to kind of try to get that off without hurting him. Then I can go over to my other one, get a nice shine on there, and then we would continue with the rest of his nails, going from pinky to thumb and from pinky to thumb. After I finished with that, he still would get cuticle oil even though we're not polishing. Okay, so then I'll put my cotton pledget onto my wooden stick again. And it's okay to do this because we are disposing of the cotton each time. That's why we don't use Q-tips, because we'd have to get a new Q-tip every time. When we use the orange wood stick and the pledget, we are saving more of our supplies. So I'm going to take my cuticle oil and just apply little dots around. And then I apply to the entire hand like that. And then once I'm done doing that, then I'll rub it in. So I'll show you kind of what that looks like. So little dots around the nail, and then I'll take it, and with my 2 fingers I'll come around his nails and just rub it in. This will make it so that he gets less hangnails, and that hopefully his whole cuticle, eponychium, entire area will get less dry like he tends to get. Also, I have some lotion here that I could also use on him afterward. To apply the lotion is pretty self-explanatory. You put it into your hand, rub it around, and then put it on your client's hand. This would be a time that you could do a little bit of a hand and arm massage without doing the whole spa manicure procedure. This would be the point where you would do that massage. So I'm not going to apply that now because I think you understand how to apply lotion. We'll talk more about polishing later on today. You worked with polishing a little bit before, but we're going to go into more in depth with the base coat, the 2 layers of polish, and the top coat. So enjoy doing the hands-on this afternoon.